First thing I grabbed was this ring. First thing I grabbed. And I'm fitzing with my mic and trying to get stuff settled. And Carol's like, where's the ring? Where is the ring? It's not even a ring, it's the ring. And
because
like,
it's just finished.
It is the most beautiful thing. It is something that, can everyone afford it? No, I get it. But for those of you who really want the best of the best of the best, and you want unusual, and you want absolutely exquisite, baby, this is your ring. Now, just note really quickly, 2 flex pays on it. Please look at the appraised value. I think that's where I kind of wanted to start.
Yes.
We're at $3,575. It is breathtaking and magnificent, and guess what? I have 9 left. Not 900, not 90. That would be less than the fingers on my hand. I have 9. And so if you would like this, Rocky, excuse me, what were the sizes that I currently have? I have 6, 7, and 8, and
yes.
3 of each of those.
Okay, let's just, when you're looking right now, you know, the experience that I hope you're having right now is when you go to a Cartier, a Harry Winston, a Van Cleef, and you look in the window and you think to yourself, who actually can buy this? Seriously?
Right.
Now, not everybody will have a chance to own this because this is a very major, important statement piece of jewelry. But at least you can look and I can share it with you. And for 9 lucky girls who are watching, you're the luckiest girls in the world because this is over 17 carats.
My heart just skipped an extra little beat, by the way.
I mean, look at it. Over 17 carats of genuine kunzite. This is an oval gemstone. Kunzite was discovered in the United States of America. We rarely hear about gemstones being discovered in the US. It was discovered by George Kunz, and George Kunz was a world-renowned mineralogist, and he was the top gemstone buyer for Tiffany & Company. Tiffany & Company introduced us to kunzite. Oh. It's so interesting. President John F. Kennedy, and I made a mistake today in my presentation. I said it was morganite, and that was my mistake. This is the Camelot story, because President Kennedy, before he was assassinated, purchased a 30-carat kunzite, this is 17, for his wife, the First Lady, Jacqueline Kennedy. He passed before Christmas. He passed in November, and he didn't have the opportunity to give this to her as her Christmas present. She opened up her kunzite ring for the holiday, wore it every single day. Kunzite became known as Camelot, the gemstone of Camelot, which is Camelot, of course, is the Kennedy era. So in order to highlight this very rare lavender pink gemstone, I chose equally rare gemstones. So when you're looking at all that incredible color, that is blue sapphire, pink sapphire, the rare chrome diopside, and genuine white diamond cut zircon. It's all done in an 18-karat rose gold plate. As I said, there's 9 of you in the United States of America who will be able to own this. And when you look at the $14.99, just think about it. You get $5.99 free shipping.
That's a good example. Okay, just give you a little heads up. We will let you know when that sells out. It is a once-in-a-lifetime ring. That's the one that